2, 1. This is at Nifty Culture. I'm Pio. I'm here with Sniper. I'm here with Samurai. Sniper, why don't you give Samurai an intro?
I'm going to give Samurai an intro. I'm going to share the link and get out of here. So Samurai is the man. He's hanging in our crew. I don't think anyone has this link. No one's even watching. So shouldn't I just send that link before I even...
Dude, you're killing the video right now. People are watching because people watch our content as soon as it drops, and they're going to continue to watch. Please finish the intro.
Sorry. The intro is Samurai's the man. He's in our crew. He's really technical. Anytime he talks on Twitter Spaces, everybody wants to listen. He's got alpha. He comes from a different background. He comes from like an Ethereum mining background, which is a whole episode of itself. Like, how do you mine Ethereum and nodes and blocks and all that? He could talk about that. And then we definitely want to hear what he has to say about gas and how do you go into a drop. You know you're going to be gas. Do you pay for gas? Do you not pay for gas? Does that get priced into the drop? We want to cover that before we let him go. I'm out of here. Thank you, guys.
See you, bro. And Sniper will be in and out, but I'm going to spend some quality time here with Samurai. So, let's talk, buddy. Like, I think that a lot of our viewers do have an interest in the technical side of the shop. Like, I think without question, alpha videos are the most popular by the numbers, given kind of like what we've seen. But yeah, I'd love to hear the technical side a little bit. I have a lot of questions. And I also would love to know, like, just to kind of kick things off here, first question, what do you think is like kind of the most important sort of technical tip that not everybody knows, but you think could make a difference to any NFT market participants that are either new or just haven't been exposed to the technical side?
That's an interesting question. So thank you for having me. I'm very grateful to be on the show. I've definitely seen a few of the episodes. I love the work you guys do here. Informing the community and getting everybody up to speed is important. So I appreciate that. Bringing different perspectives in terms of things like mining is also important. So if I could offer up any type of first bit of information to new people in the market, new people in the space, it is that Ethereum mining is essentially the backbone of everything that goes on. And the reason that gas fees they modulate so much, that they change, is because there are people that are always getting on and off the network. There are miners always coming on and off. The challenge, the actual difficulty of producing the block changes. It gets harder and harder as it goes along, depending on how many miners there are, depending on how active the network is. The network is currently measured in terahashes, right? So I measure mine in mega hashes per second. So your GPU at home and your computer right now, what kind of GPU do you run?
I don't know.
So let's just say you have one of the new GPUs, right? You got one of the new NVIDIA GPUs, right? You got one of those new things in your computer. You can play Apex and everything else like that. That graphics card processes information to be able to produce pixels on the screen. What I do is I take that piece of equipment and use it to produce numbers. So that way, when Ethereum requests a certain string, a certain hex for their block, I can be there to produce it, right? So that's a solo miner. What I do is, as a pool miner, I produce my hash rate to a pool, and then that contributes that to the network as a larger collective, and then I get paid out for my contribution. Here's what I would tell everybody that is in this space right now that you can get into. You could be mining crypto. All you need is some hardware. All you need is a desktop computer. And you could actually be mining crypto assets to be able to, A, contribute to the network and help secure the transactions, and B, make a little bit on the back end. Because from the way I see it, if there are people making money in a transaction in anything, whether it be a middleman in the banking industry or somebody you're buying something from somewhere, right? There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to make a little bit of that cut too. It's not going to be exorbitant, right? You're not going to be making your rent off of it. But currently, I'm mining about $80 a day worth of Ethereum. So that's quite a lot for me. I have a modest job, a day job, and then I do some trading and NFT stuff on the side. So if I could say anything to the audience, it's that crypto mining is not out of your reach. It is within your reach. It takes just a little bit of research, a little bit of know-how, and when you put it together, you can actually participate. And the amount of information you'll gain from diving into the technical side of things is immense. I went from not knowing how to put together a computer whatsoever, or even really what a CPU was, to putting together mining rigs for my friends and family members. And now everybody's wanting to get engaged. And when Ethereum switches over to Ethereum 2.0, which is something we'll talk about, and everything moves to proof of stake, there will be other algorithms that you can mine and still be profitable on. So that's it. Mining is not this ethereal thing that happens in the trenches or in the basements or anything like that. Anybody can get into it. You don't have to have millions of dollars worth of hardware, and just making a little bit on the side is fun and you learn a lot.
My question is, what is the investment in the hardware? Like for me, right? Like I have a MacBook Pro, that's my setup, right? So I'm assuming I'd have to get a desktop computer like you talked about. What is that investment into the hardware? And then also, what impact would mining have on like an electricity bill?
Excellent question. So I'm running 5 mining rigs with about 20 graphics cards, give or take a few, right? And they're 2080 Supers. Audience, if they know what I'm talking about, 3080 Ti's, 3080s, they're all high-end graphics cards that can do really well. You won't be able to mine most cryptocurrencies on your MacBook Pro because the graphics processing unit inside of your MacBook won't, unless it's an M1, it's not going to be efficient enough. It's not going to be productive enough to be able to actually mine something of value, right? At that point in time, you're going to be, so this is a 3080 Ti. Buying these on the market right now is nearly impossible. If you actually wanted to get one of these for MSRP, you would need to go camp out at a Best Buy the day before they release them. And I've actually done that for the graphics card in my computer right now. That's this one.
And is that because of mining? Is that why? Because everyone wants to mine?
I would say it's three-pronged, right? So everybody wants to mine, and because GPU mining is only going to be productive for so long. These companies are no longer going to be producing these hardware components that allow for mining, because what they want to do is produce stuff that's mining specific so they can make you buy their product that degrades over time. What they don't want to do is make a product like this that's meant to last for 5 to 10 years that can also do crypto mining, and then have all these crypto miners buy them off the market, take them away from everybody else, and then use them for 10 years, right? Because that's not what we intended. You're making so much more money off of it than we are, says NVIDIA, says AMD, right? So what they do is they put they make these things light hash rate, so LHR cards. And what that means is right now, that exact card in my computer is mining Ethereum. Actually, I should probably turn that off. I'm mining at about 60 mega hashes per second. If this thing wasn't limited by NVIDIA to prevent miners from being incentivized to use it, it would be producing double that. And to give you a perspective, double of 60 mega hashes per second is the difference between $3 a day and $6 a day in Ethereum. So that's kind of a slight at me as a miner. So I end up going back in time and buying all of the previous cards, right? I buy the 3080s that dropped at the beginning of the year, the 3060 Ti's, which is why those are still expensive and why people who want to get them in their computers right now can't, because miners want them and gamers want them. The fact of the matter is, mining on a graphics card, and I want to tell everybody this has been proven by Linus Tech Tips, if you know who that is, on YouTube. They're a phenomenal channel that does incredibly in-depth dives into the technical side of components and hardware. And what they found was that off the shelf, or having been mined over the course of a year, 2 years, and 4 years, the hardware degraded a negligible amount more from sitting on a shelf doing nothing from when it was mining. So do not be scared to use your equipment to mine. Just be careful to not just crank the shit out of it, right? You don't want to you don't want to turn the voltage all the way up and turn the temperature all the way up and just to get that last little bit, because if you turn it down and you run it smooth and run it kind of like running a car, right? If you don't over rev it everywhere you go, it will last you longer.
Right. Okay. And so I think that a lot of people are curious about the ETH gas fees. And once ETH switches to proof of stake, which I think is going to happen within 12 months, is that kind of the time estimate?
So there's a joke in the Ethereum community that Ethereum 2.0 is 6 months away, 6 years ago.
So we don't know when. The idea is that will curb gas prices, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. What that does is ETH 2.0. Let me backtrack a little bit. So the way that gas is, if we can imagine it, it's kind of similar to you get a small Hoboken town where you get one gas station, right? And when everybody tries to come and get gas, there's a limited amount of gas that can be given out to complete the blocks and actually produce the transactions. And there's a limited amount of miners to be able to actually validate those transactions. And Ethereum can only validate networks or can validate transactions so fast on the network. So that was the scalability issue of Ethereum to begin with. So what they did was they implemented EIP 1559, which tried to alleviate some of the gas fees. That wasn't the intention. What it did was it actually just took the gas fees and stopped giving it all directly to the miners and then started burning most of it, which for Ethereum holders is great news, because what that means is we as Ethereum holders are now holding a deflationary asset over time, because there's a fixed amount, and Ethereum, the network, is actually burning some of it as it goes. So if you have 100 Pokemon Charizard cards, right? The first edition, and you have all 100 of them on the market, there are no more, and you take 5 of them and throw them in the trash and burn them. What happens to those other 95? They go up in value because there's fewer of them on the market. So that's what's happening to your Ethereum in the background. The reason why you pay such high gas fees to either mint a project or to buy a project when everybody is on the network is because there are hundreds of thousands of people that are all vying for that block that you are trying to get on in that exact moment to be able to authenticate that you purchased that transaction. When you go to your purchase of your NFT or your transaction authentication on your MetaMask or whatever to see whether or not you actually got the thing that you purchased, and you click on that link for Etherscan, it takes you to that website where it shows you that transaction. And that transaction is literally the information that is being condensed into a block. And that's the blocks on the blockchain, right? So if the gas that you're paying is the gas to produce that block, and the extra gas you're paying is to front run that transaction to get you in first. So that's why you get guys like SniperBot who are willing to pay, a crazy amount of gas fees to get in first, to get these crazy opportunities in NFTs, because yes, he may be paying 2, 3, 4 times what the actual NFT is worth at mint, but he knows on the back end that he'll make that back. So
right, it's like
hopefully
you have to look at the cost of mint plus the gas fee, and then that's just your whole cost. And if the cost of mint is 0.03 and then you're paying 0.1 in gas, it sounds like a lot. It's 3x the mint price. But then if you're looking at it, I'm getting this thing for 0.13 and the floor is 0.3 the next day. It's not too bad of a deal. It really just cost you 0.13, and that was the whole price.
That's true. And another thing to take into account is everybody's saying that gas fees are going up, and the gas fees actually aren't necessarily going up, but the value of Ethereum is up. So if you were to try to mint something 2 months ago in May, when the price collapsed to 1,600, you were 0.1 Ethereum that would be a gas fee would literally be more than, or like less than half of what it would be today in dollar amount. So what people are seeing in terms of gas fees is a combination of, yes, the gas fees are going up a little bit for the gas wars, which is something we could talk about. And it's also because the dollar amount of Ethereum has skyrocketed. It's more than doubled in the last 2 months.
Well, yeah, a lot of people get concerned with the dollar amount of Ethereum. I think that are relatively new to the space, but all of the people that have been playing in this space for a while, with Ethereum as the unit of account, they don't really look at the dollar amount. It's really the ETH amount, because you can't go off dollars, right? So right now gas is at 98. I think a month and a half ago we would say that this is on the high side and you'd want to be at around 60. But these days, if I see 98, this would give me no pause, no hesitation to mint something right now. This is a great number. This is like an amazing number right now. So I think that the norm is becoming this number, and high gas prices like 150, 200. What are your thoughts on that? And do you see that changing in the next 3 months at all?
No, unfortunately not. And the problem is the gas fees themselves might not even increase, but the value of Ethereum is set to increase. And if we take a second, let me pull up my current timing on Ethereum. Let me see what it's doing real quick. Ethereum is up only 0.09%. So it's pretty much at the level it was yesterday. We're at about 39.35. With the consolidation that we're seeing right now, I think that ETH is priming for the next leg up. And look at that. We're already seeing the price skyrocket a little bit. So
we're creating this.
We
Samurai.
are. We're generating the
creating
hype. Hey, man, pay it up, man. Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
that possible? So I want to show you something. I want to show.
Yeah, I was gonna say just click on the screen share just at the bottom. It's like
there we
share
go.
screen.
Screen share. Yep, there we go. I want to share. We'll share screen too.
Perfect.
Let me get these out of the way. Sorry about that. I want to put this up here because I want to show you what I see when I'm mining Ethereum, right? So this is my personal wallet. So currently I'm mining. This is actually a little bit higher than that. It's just because this is the hash rate level going up. I coordinate with another individual. He provides me graphics cards. He's a botter. So he goes online and buys those graphics cards with bots, and then he brings them to my house for free. I put them in a mining rig. So I buy all the components. To answer your question, what's the cost factor for this, right? So to just get started, you need about $800 for hardware, CPU, GPU, or CPU, motherboard, RAM, all that yada yada. And then you need a graphics card, which can cost you anywhere between $2,000 to $2,000. And then you produce what's called mega hashes per second. And these mega hashes per second net me a certain amount of ETH per day. So I'm about 83. This is probably going to go up to about $90 per day. And so I'm looking at a little bit over half of Ethereum a month. The interesting thing is, if I go up to the pool stats real quick and I scroll back down, I can see spikes in the price to where I was actually getting paid almost double in Ethereum for just that one day. For just that one time period. So this is where I go to gather my information when things are actually going crazy. And each one of these spikes can probably be correlated with a drop of a major NFT project or with another significant spike in activity.
So talk about scalability. Think about it. If one popular NFT drop can impact this global network in such a big way, is that a concern when it comes to scalability? Now that I'm hearing people talk about Solana more and more, I know that this is absolute blasphemy for Ethereum maximalists, but here we go. If all of the work that's being built on Ethereum, that's being built on these other platforms, was mimicked and copied and built on another layer of Bitcoin, the most powerful blockchain and probably the most efficient, would that be something that we could see in the future? And I don't want to get canceled by the Ethereum community here, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that stuff out.
Even with the Lightning Network, even with everything that Bitcoin has to offer, I don't know that we will see a massive surge of Bitcoin NFTs, right? And I'm gonna say it like this because you made a really good point. Bitcoin is, I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly the word that you used, but I would say, if I were to describe Bitcoin, and this is kind of the words that Michael Saylor used, it is a store of value. It is an asset class like land, right? I just bought this house. I'm still paying it off. I got tons of money that I owe on it. Thank God for NFTs. I might actually be able to pay it off. It is an asset class. And I wouldn't use my house to buy groceries, right? I wouldn't use my house to buy a cool picture to hang up on the wall. Honestly, I don't know that I would use my house to buy this chibi, but everybody should go to Chibi Labs on Twitter and go check these things out. They're amazing. Sorry for the plug. But I would collateralize a loan against it and use that money to do something else, right? So as opposed to saying, I'm going to take my 0.2 or 0.02 Bitcoin, however much I have, and I'm going to use that to buy an NFT, I think might be a little foolhardy, because Bitcoin's true value, because first of all, if that NFT plummets in value, you just lost your Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I feel like a jerk.
Perfectly clear. Yeah, let's be perfectly clear with every single person in this chat right now. NFTs are the more volatile cousin of crypto in terms of investment, and crypto is the more volatile version of stocks, which are the more volatile version of bonds, right? So you have bonds which are secure. They don't make you a lot of money. They essentially aren't making you any money considering the rate of inflation.
They're losing your money now.
You're losing your money right now. Exactly right. And then you got stocks, which that's just gambling, right? You're just gambling on companies that you have no control over. And here's the thing, guys. The greatest thing about NFTs is at least you get a JPEG when you buy something.
Yeah.
I don't get a JPEG when I buy a Tesla stock, and that fucking pisses me off.
Well, that's what I've been saying with like the speculators that are coming from other markets, whether it's stocks or crypto, is like, obviously I understand that really great things are being built in the crypto markets, beyond Bitcoin, right? Like I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. And so a lot of times I'll call other things shit coins and people will get mad, right? I recognize that things are being built, but you have to admit that a lot of these things that are being built right now actually won't have any long-term value. And the promises that are being made are 1000% speculative. So for me, it's like, I'd rather just buy the JPEG because at least you get the JPEG. It's kind of the same thing. It's a risk and it's theoretical value long-term. And maybe you get airdrops and maybe there's a roadmap, but at least you have the JPEG. It's more fun, You
got the JPEG, right? I could post the picture on my wall. I can at least have people look at it and talk about it. So I think, that's NFTs definitely have that going for it. But, I could speak to a Bitcoin maximalist and say, hey, look, yes, Bitcoin is the thing that started it all. Satoshi Nakamoto made Bitcoin as a way for us to free ourselves from the exact market that seems to be trying to control all of Bitcoin, right? The central bank or a central bank group, or what is it? The cryptocurrency group, right? Is the CCG, the guys that run Coinbase. Those guys, the crypto cartel, right? I don't know if you've ever watched BitBoy Crypto, but he talks about them all the time. It's the group of people that run everything in the background behind these larger crypto things, whether it be Coinbase or Chainlink or anything. So those guys have it in their scopes to bolster a lot of these projects for as long as it is profitable for them. The problem is they can't do that with Bitcoin, right? There is no Vitalik Buterin. There is no Charles Hoskinson for Bitcoin. It's done. It's relatively immutable. Like if we go back far enough, we can find an example. I think 2013 where Bitcoin had to be rolled back because of a hack, right? So nothing in the world is perfect. But like you said, I think that Bitcoin will set the standard. And Ethereum and those things will have their place as speculative assets going into the future. However, speculation oftentimes does turn into fruition, right? How many times have we seen things in Star Trek and Star Wars movies from olden times that have now become actual things because people have been inspired by them and they've willed them into existence? So I don't think that Bitcoin needs to be the only thing. In the same way, I don't think that Verizon needs to be the only cell carrier and Spectrum needs to be the only internet provider. If anything, there's different value propositions for different things. XRP, somebody mentioned that earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, and I told him that we're not friends anymore when he brought up XRP.
Here's the thing, right? I bought XRP at 70 cents. If XRP goes to $10 when the SEC drops their lawsuit or they just settle, I'm cashing out. I'm taking my value proposition. I'm turning that into Ethereum. I'm buying NFTs with it, right?
Yeah.
That's where my money is going. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. So back to, mining, back to gas. So like someone asked, are these rewards just off of one graphics card? The answer is no, correct? It's off of several graphics cards.
This is off of dozens of graphics cards. This is $10,000 worth of equipment right here. To make $100 a day, you're going to put down a lot of money. But that's the ROI, right? If I spent $10,000 to be able to produce all of this equipment, barring the equipment that I got for free from the scalper that I work with, then my ROI right here is approximately 4 months. So if Ethereum 2.0 isn't going to roll out before the end of 2021, then I have all the time in the world to make my profit for my initial investment.
You're going to be racking it up. And so how do things change if Ethereum 2.0 does happen?
I am no longer going to be able to do this whatsoever. They're literally going to freeze the ability to mine, and this is no longer going to be a function.
The only way to be lucrative in that situation is to provide liquidity by staking your Ethereum?
If you wanted to remain in the Ethereum network, yes. What you could do is you could either start mining Ethereum Classic, which is still, the original arm of Ethereum, right? That was the one
proof of work architecture.
That was the proof of work architecture. Well, that was also the one that before the $20 million hack or somebody found, I think it was like back in 2016 or 2017. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and do some research into this again. I tried to gather all this information before this meeting. There was a hack where they had to roll back Ethereum, and that was the moment that it branched off. It created ETH Classic and Ethereum that we know it today. Classic ETH. That's why Grayscale is buying. So it's interesting that somebody mentioned that, and it's because Ethereum Classic will remain proof of work for a long period of time, and that is going to provide miners with an opportunity to put their mining profits somewhere, and it's going to also give people who have been priced out of Ethereum a chance to still buy into the original chain, right? So people who are code is law kind of people, they see Ethereum and Ethereum 2.0 as kind of just a clown's game, right? They're just like, dude, this isn't the real Ethereum. Ethereum Classic Trust is currently unavailable. So that's interesting, right? So Grayscale is trying to provide investors opportunities to get into these crypto assets without actually having to buy them and go through the process of holding keys or having a MetaMask wallet or even really doing any of the work, which for the most part is the fun part for me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of institutional investors, a lot of older investors, they don't want to be bothered by custodying their own assets. They're uncomfortable with that. They just don't understand technology and things like that. And that's, that's fine. You pay a massive premium if you buy into Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, for example. And now I think there's Grayscale Ethereum Trust. Apparently there's Grayscale Ethereum Classic Trust. This is news to me. It's a massive premium, right? And there will be times where the price of the asset is ripping, like Bitcoin or Ethereum could be ripping. And then you look at your GBTC or your GETH asset in your portfolio, and it's not going up nearly at the same rate or at all. If you're not financial advice, but if you're in a Bitcoin, there's other ways to get cleaner exposure to Bitcoin besides buying actual Bitcoin, which is obviously what you should do. I don't think many people that are watching this stream are interested in buying like just random assets that aren't the actual underlying asset. But MicroStrategy, you mentioned Michael Saylor. That's a good way to get exposure to Bitcoin and actually have a company that has cash flow and, could provide value in a bear market. Coinbase is another option. I mean, Tesla owns a lot of Bitcoin. I don't really know how to get exposure to Ethereum though, besides actually buying Ethereum. So just buy Ethereum.
Well, yeah, I would say just buy Ethereum, and because the thing is, not your keys, not your crypto. I don't care if you are a Bitcoin maximalist, an Ethereum maximalist, or a Cardano maximalist, or a Dogecoin maximalist. I don't give a shit. If you own your crypto on Robinhood or PayPal or any of these other platforms where you don't have the keys to it and they don't warn you about that, and you're not having to write that down on a piece of paper or put that in a ledger, you are putting yourself in a position to where you are essentially handing over the entire control of your assets. And that is not what Bitcoin, that was not what crypto was designed for. It was designed to give the power to the people and let us control that and make our decisions. Because when you have control over your assets, you have leverage, literally, and clout wise, right? You literally have the money in your wallet. They literally can't take it from you. And you can say, hey, I have this. Let me do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, no, very well said. So, I want to go back to some of your mining stuff here. So what else can we share about, mining? Like, again, you have to keep in mind, a lot of people that are watching this right now, they are not, into mining. They're into NFTs, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them have stacked up a lot of Ethereum and might want to be able to deploy that Ethereum in a more conservative way than just mining NFTs, but they still want to get return. One thing I've heard is like running your own node. And I know that there's sort of a minimum amount of Ethereum for you to do that. Is that a good option? If not that, what other ways could people deploy Ethereum?
So, deploying Ethereum, there's a couple of different ways you can make your Ethereum work for you, right? Mining is how I make machines make Ethereum for me, right? This is essentially generating Ethereum out of midair. I'm literally printing money. I love this shit. What I do with this is I took all of my Ethereum that I had mined out of my Trezor wallet, which is the one that I had. Now I moved over to a Ledger, and I put it into my MetaMask wallet, and I started buying NFT assets because my Ethereum could only do one of two things. It could either sit in my wallet and do nothing, or I could stake it on a network. I could either like there's an A and a B to this. I could either soft stake it on something like KuCoin, where it will give me a small fraction of what it would normally give me just by having it in my Pool X account, right? I would pull up KuCoin, but I don't want to accidentally give away personal information. So I apologize.
Totally understood.
The second thing you could do is, on that note, you could hard stake it for Ethereum 2.0. The problem with that is if you take your Ethereum and stake it to get somewhere between 7 and 12% back on that APY, which is fantastic, right? That's 10 times what you can get at any bank anywhere for your money.
Yep.
And you get to keep Ethereum, and Ethereum can continue to go up in value. So you're still going to get the same amount back in Ethereum that you're going to be staking, but the value of that could go up as the market goes up. So that's awesome value proposition. The problem with staking on most platforms for Ethereum 2.0 is that you can't unstake it until Ethereum 2.0 has been released. And since that is, bro, I'm telling you, I know so many people who didn't read the fine print, put down 5 ETH into a staking pool, and now they're like, I want to buy NFTs, but I can't because Ethereum won't let me do it. And they're fucked. You have to read the fine print on stuff like that.
It's pretty gnarly, man. And but I think that, I mean, to me, that was like well known. Like whenever I heard about it with a, but you can't take it out, you know? So it was presented to me like that. But if it wasn't presented to you like that and you just aped into staking, that's I mean, it's not bad, but at the same time, if you need liquidity, you ain't got it, you know?
You don't have it. And what is more useful than anything in this market right now other than being liquid?
Yeah, exactly.
So, between keeping it in your wallet and staking it, those are the two things you can do with your Ethereum as it stands right now. And what you were talking about earlier, which was creating a node, this is out of my pay grade. This is out of my hey, Sniper Bot's back in the chat. Staking an Ethereum node is currently, if I stick with Sniper Bot, it won't be for long, is out of my pay grade. I don't have enough Ethereum to do that. You would need 32 Ethereum to stake on your own node.
This is where I wanted to join the conversation here.
Come on, man, brother.
Someone said liquidity. That's my magic word. It's like
there you go.
You remember? Do you remember when we were kids? There was a Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. There was a show, and if you said the magic word, they'd go. Ready to go. Liquidity. Anytime anyone says liquidity, today the word of the day is liquidity. If I hear it, I'm coming in and I'm doing one of those. So P.O., be careful. If you say liquidity, you know what's happening. I'm coming in with
I get it.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So back to this.
No, I was just saying I get it. Yeah.
32. So if I have 32 ETH, tell me what I could do with my 32 ETH, but tell me the downside, the dangers.
So again, this is where I said I am going to speak candidly and say I don't exactly know what the downside of staking to an Ethereum node would be because I don't have 32 Ethereum yet and Ethereum 2.0 hasn't released yet. So there's a lot of unknowns about the network that's going to happen when you end up spinning up a node for Ethereum 2.0.
You know what? I have a guy for you that will come on and give you that answer. And Samurai blazing off with one of the top C++ developers in the world and who has the answer on that Ethereum should be a badass show. And we'll do that. We'll do that.
Lido doesn't require... Okay, and that's interesting. NFT Games just made an interesting point. My comment about staking Ethereum on a node is creating your own node on Ethereum 2.0 with your 32 Ethereum. That does not mean that's the only way that you can stake your Ethereum to a pool, right? There are liquidity pools that you could stake your Ethereum to. An example of one, not of Ethereum, but an example of liquidity pool would be PancakeSwap's liquidity pool. Hey, I just said it like 5 times. Yay!
No. We're not going to do it. If you say it twice, that's it. We'll do it twice, and we'll let it go because
it's like
I like it. I like it.
So on PancakeSwap, I take my BNB and my Pancake tokens, and I provide an equal amount of those two things. And what that does is it provides PancakeSwap with the opportunity to have liquidity to be able to make those exchanges, to be able to make those trades between people, because this isn't a peer-to-peer network. This is peer-to-network, right? Go ahead, brother.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you because you're flowing so nice. This is what happened with Sandbox last night. I wanted to go stake it, and my concern was, and I think you said it has to be 1-to-1. How the hell do you get it to be 1-to-1? It's like it has to be just 50-50. That's all. It can't be perfect. It's 50-50, right? Because I was 51-49, and maybe that's why I wasn't able to do my Sandbox thing. Is that correct?
That could potentially be it. Again, I haven't actually had any opportunities to work on Sandbox as a staking. Like you and I just talked about it for the first time last night, but I'm going to spend today working on that this afternoon.
No, we'll do it. We could do it offline when we're done with the radio show. Maybe you'll VPN into my machine and we'll learn together, and then I could record it and we could share it with PO and stuff. That'd
be fantastic. Yeah. So I had a question in the chat. Hey, Samurai, I've been popular upcoming using flash bots such as MEV Collector and making a killing in the mints. Is that I've never heard of that before. Are you saying that there's actually an MEV Collector is a bot that somebody is using similar to like the bots that people use to buy sneakers and stuff online? Because if that's the case, that is a broken hack for the game and could seriously screw up mints in the future for people dropping. Because if somebody could just walk into a mint and have a bot that just goes into the actual underlying architecture of the smart contract, can do all of that back end work for you and then mint all these things before everybody else, that's bad news bears for mints in the future. I don't have enough information on that, Yannick Deschantateur, but I will I'll see if I can't do some information on that. I can show you some examples here. Uniswap is 50-50. Yeah, so if you want to provide liquidity on Uniswap, you have to be 50-50. Pancake Swap was 50-50. So the thing is, when you provide that liquidity, if one of them goes up, then you're imbalanced and then you end up losing money. So that's what I was talking about with you was impermanent loss. You have to make sure that the two things that you're providing if they have the potential to either stay where they're at, both of them, or they both have the potential to go up about the same, because if they go up unevenly, you could end up losing your money.
So I have a question. Do you know about the yields that you get from spinning up your own node?
I don't have that information. No. And again, part of that just comes from the fact that I don't have enough Ethereum yet. So it's kind of like I don't want to learn to bake a souffle before I have the ingredients.
Sure. Bacon souffle is incredibly difficult, by the way. It's the only thing that I've failed at in cooking 4 or 5 times in a row. But anyway, that's a side note. But yeah, I mean, so look, someone like Sniper, has the liquidity to spin up an Ethereum node. So at some point, it's like, does it benefit you to learn how to do it? What are the risks involved? What is the yield? Because if you can yield 1 Ethereum a month or 3/4 of an Ethereum a month just for providing liquidity, and you still own the underlying assets, that sounds like a pretty good deal.
What happens if Ethereum, it's not going to happen, but what happens if Ethereum, when you have this all set up and then Ethereum goes to 1,500?
You still own the Ethereum.
You still own the Ethereum. Yeah, all you're doing is at this point in time, let's make sure that there's a distinction between liquidity pool providing and staking, right? Or staking a node, staking to a node, right? What you're doing is you're essentially creating a virtual mining machine when you create a node, right? Because you have all this Ethereum on the network and it's helping to validate transactions. Whereas when I stake something to a pool, I'm providing that thing, I'm providing that asset, foregoing my crypto and essentially giving it to them like I give my money to a bank, and that bank can then take that money and go do other stuff with it. So the difference between those two things is significant, and I just don't want to make sure that we get that lost in translation, right? When you stake something or you're adding liquidity to a pool, you're giving up your keys. In some instances, there are liquidity pools that you could do it where you don't have to give up your keys, but you're giving up your crypto to the asset, to the staking pool, to be able to provide that to somebody else so that they can make trades. Go ahead, brother.
Whether I win or lose, this is what we're going to do. It's going to be too fun, Theo. We're going to keep this conversation going, but we're going to talk offline about how to do it securely so we don't fuck up. And it's going to be this conversation, an offline conversation, 32 ETH, a reality show about that 32 ETH and how much it prints. And I got a guy like Samurai I could trust with my 32 ETH. We'll just get it done. We'll record it from start to finish. and
Do
we'll
the whole
just
thing.
make content about it, and we'll do it all day. And you know what's going to be cool is we're just going to show everybody that, you know what Sniper's going to be doing? Sniper's going to be doing this. He's going to be doing this.
Printing money.
Yeah, and we're going to show the world how we print money via Samurai, PO, and whoever else wants to, you know. Oh, dude, I maybe I'll get it out in the afternoon for the Gutter Cat Gang. I have one of those from Disney, like a.
You got a lightsaber?
I got a lightsaber and I got the helmet too. So it's just a matter of if I could get another radio show going when I got Nifty News coming on at 11. Nifty News is probably like, where's my link? Let me get Nifty News' link. And NFT Games, you may be setting yourself up for a guest appearance at 3 o'clock if you want.
He's been on our show. He's the man. His name's Gillies. He's been on our show.
Yo, we had a cancellation.
Okay,
we had a cancellation at 3. Gil, you want to come on at 3?
He's in Australia, so that's 3 a.m. for him.
He doesn't sleep. If he's this good, he doesn't sleep.
Gillies, yo, give Sniper an answer in the chat. He's gonna be like, yeah, I reckon I can come on at 3 a.m. Let's do it.
Well, get him on now.
He said no, he just goes no. He just said no.
Yo, someone kick him out of Sniper. Here. Boot him. Get him out. Just kidding. He's always drunk.
He goes,
you know what, Gilly? Come find NFT Sniper Bot when you're available. Come find us on Twitter Spaces. We're hanging out all week for this Chibi's drop. We'll even get it to the Discord and show us your username. We'll get you in channel 007. PO, we need you in channel 007 too. We're crushing it in there. That's the rocket ship channel. We got Terrence Williams in there. He's like, dude, I want to make, I want to make deals, whatever. He's helping us with marketing too. He wrote some beautiful thing on me here. I don't know if I can pin it. Let me get some links out. You guys finish.
Yeah,
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
We did over 40 minutes. Happy to have Sniper pop on there at the end. Yeah, I mean, Samurai, it was an absolute pleasure, man. Any closing thoughts before we wrap?
Absolutely. I want everybody to make sure that you guys are following everybody. Obviously you are, but on social media, because guys like SniperBot are constantly dropping alpha all the time, and I'm coordinating with them a lot on projects. We have a lot of stuff coming in the future. The world of NFTs is in its infancy. The world of crypto is in its adolescence. We are not even in our teenage years yet, guys. The adoption rate of crypto, the adoption rate of NFT is almost a negligible percentage in terms of statistics. And when you go outside and you say the words NFT or you say the words Ethereum and you notice that only 1 out of every 100 people even knows what the hell you're talking about, that's how you know that you're early. So be calm, zoom out, be okay with your decisions, make sure that you're only investing what you could afford to lose, and go and dig for more information, because this is only getting started. We are at the very precipice of an entire paradigm shift of this world, and you are right here at the beginning of it. Let's be it together. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I'm very sociable. I'm very welcoming to conversations, and I very much want to do everything that I can to help support the community. Also, I'm going to go flip one of my Wicked 8 Bone Clubs to make sure that I can go mint one of these bad boys, because I saw them last night and I'm running out of time. There's only 71 remaining.
Yeah, so I'll close with this shameless plug, and thank you, Samurai, for kind of introing me, throwing to me on this. So 71 mints remaining. Sniper wants to sell this out. What time do you want to sell this out by, Sniper?
I said 11:37. I mean, if you told me at 11:36 that there's 33 left, you may get. No, I gotta stay liquid, but I may buy I'll buy 5 more. You know what? I don't know how to share my screen, but I would show I'll just buy one. Ready? Let's watch the number tick. Let's do it before we leave. I need the link for my guy. Yes, he's ready.
I threw all the links in there. Yeah, I threw all the links
in there. No. We got to talk
in
about the links. They're not perfect. It has to say studio. It has to say studio. It doesn't work.
I'll upgrade all the links. My bad. So yeah, we're wrapping up. It sounds like Sniper's gonna get one more. He's gonna buy it. And everyone, let's just get this thing sold out today so I can stop talking about it getting sold out on the stream. And everyone follow Samurai. That's at Samurai. His Twitter handle's right there. Is it McCown at Samurai McCown?
Yo,
you're muted, Samurai.
Check out his PFP.
It's Samurai
PFP.
McKeon. It's Samurai. It's Irish. Samurai McKeon.
Okay, nice. And you
But
see
yeah.
that PFP behind him. What's that?
So this is the Chibi Labs, the third generation, if I'm not mistaken. They're getting ready to
No,
drop
first generation. That's
first generation. So yeah, this is
or maybe
this
it's the
is,
second. I gotta check, but it's a
go to
freaking rare
Chibi
ape.
Labs on Twitter, Chibi Labs. They're getting ready to drop the Chibi apes on September 9th. The mint is going to be crazy. There's only so many spots, guys. You want to get in on this now. This is going to be one of those things that just blows the hell off the ceiling on this thing. And if you don't get in on the mint, you're going to be just looking for it on the secondary market, and you're going to be disappointed at how much money you're going to have to pay.
All right, so thank you very much. We have 71. I want your screen to show that it goes 70. Actually, Samurai, I'm gonna buy you one, man, for doing the show today. So that's 2 I'll buy. Okay, I got Samurai.
Thank you very much, my friend.
I want Samurai in the Discord, so I'm pumped to have him in the Discord when he gets that mint.
No, Samurai, you spend your time in the 007 chat. All right, we don't need to spend all your time in the NFT culture chat. All right, we're not sharing Samurai. That's my Samurai. You know, I gave.
He's got time to be in 2 Discords. Come on.
We'll have to talk offline. Actually, I'm gonna to stop it, or I'm not gonna.
Boys, you don't have to fight over me. I have plenty of time.
All right, the gas is a little high. So Samurai, the gas is 180. Is that normal?
Oh my god.
The gas is 180. That's not normal.
Not normal.
That means these are selling out right now.
Okay, so hey, if you want to take a quick second, share my screen real quick, right? Let me share it. I'll just take a quick second. Let's see if the prices are going up a little bit, right?
They are.
So,
it's 202 now.
Share your screen, Samurai.
Share my screen right here. Bang, bang, boom. So we're looking. Let me refresh.
What site are you on?
This is Ezil. This is my mining site. This is where I go to look at my stats, right? So this is where I see how much money I'm making. Let's go to the pool real quick. Doesn't look like it's reporting anything significant, but if we go down here to the blocks and we look at the amounts, I'm looking at a lot of extra miner extracted value right here in the last couple of transactions. So yeah, you know,
I'm gonna wait. I'll wait till we get to the end. Let's see if the gas goes down. Anytime during the day the gas goes down, I'll grab it. If the gas doesn't go down, I'm not concerned for you guys, because honestly, I think if we keep watching the gas all day and keep talking about the gas, you keep pulling up the gas.
Yep.
PO, on one of your screens, or even Samurai, whoever's hooked in, and Samurai, you may be back at 3, by the way, because we have more to talk about. We could do the sandbox thing, if you don't mind. And if you want, I'll just send you the ETH, and you could kind of game it from your screen all day. We could monitor the gas. We could keep going to Samurai, checking the gas on the NFT cult. I don't mind sending them. Yeah, that's great. We'll send them the ETH, and if Samurai, I mean, you probably have better things to do today, but
no, the best thing I could ever do is spend time with you.
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
Well,
he's feeding
we
my
gotta wrap
ego.
because we have another stream coming up right now. I got to get the right link. Thank you, Samurai. Sounds like we're going to be seeing more of you. Make sure you spend most of your time in our Discord and not Snipers. And I'm just kidding. And Sniper. Great kicking it, and we're going to go live again right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you guys.